Hey, thanks for checking out Nuts and Bolts with Tone. Today we're going to talk about ratchets. We're going to talk about the ratchets I have, the ratchets I like, the ratchets I don't like. I'm going to show you all the different kinds that I have, and I'm going to show you why it's important to have a variety of ratchets. Let's check it out. So I'm going to show you what I have on this cart, which is my go-to ratchets. Right here, right here. We got all these ratchets. Now these are my go-tos. I'm going to show you all of those. And then I'm going to talk about all the ratchets that are in here, that are the extras that I have that just come in handy whenever I need them. Let's get into it. Okay, so here we are. We're going to talk about my ratchets and what I like to use, what I prefer, what are my go-to ratchets, and I'm going to show you my little funky ratchets that I have. So right off the bat, my two go-to ratchets are my my snap-on small little quarter drive ratchet and my other snap-on. They're both the same style, just a lot longer. So these are my two go-to 1/4-inch ratchets. I use these all the time. So next up, we're gonna go right off here. These are my two go-to 3/8 ratchets, and these are my snap-ons. So I got this nice little pearl blue handle. Then I got the green one. It's got the same hard handle, just one's green and one's blue. So we're gonna show you how the space of that. So these things right here, I don't know if you can tell how beefy this handle is, but this is a flex head ratchet, right? Not locking, but the thickness of this ratchet and the handle and everything makes this thing right here. I could put more torque on something with this than a lot of people can with a bigger ratchet. These things they're just phenomenal. They're my favorite ratchets. So I'll show you something that's non-snap-on that I've had for a long time. Actually, since I started in this industry. Is my Matco ratchets. So these two are exactly the same. I had these since I started. Okay, this is a locking flex head. The only difference is these have been converted to the 88 tooth. They were not 88 tooth when I got them. I don't remember what Matco was prior, but when Snap-on came out with the 80, they started doing 88. They converted these, so I use these quite often. To be honest, I'm ready to get a couple snap-on ones just like this and take these home. So I have some good ratchets at home. Another two ratchets I've had since I've been in the industry is, and you can tell, I mean, this handle is like just falling apart. It's got a nice cushion grip. It's just a straight up 3/8 drive ratchet. It's decent length. It's not flex, anything like that. Another one I got at the same time, you can tell it's the same handle. The spark plug ratchet. All right, so those are my regular ones. Now I got this sucker here, and this guy is my long 3/8, and this thing is 18 inches long, right? So it's got a nice little flex head on it. It's snap-on flex head. It's got a full 90-degree flex, no locking, but this thing right here is pretty beefy. I love this thing, 3/8 drive. This gets it done. So another ratchet I've had for a long time is my little tiny 3/8 drive, little hand ratchet, snap-on. Use this quite often as well. Now we're gonna talk about Big Daddy here. So here's Big Daddy, and Big Daddy is 26 inches long. So 26-inch long, locking flex head ratchet. I've had this since I started. No, I've had this for years, but not since I started. This is an 88 tooth ratchet as well. No, this is Matco, so this is 88 tooth. But this thing is a beast. I like that one. I wish it was. I like the handle because it's smaller, but I like the snap-on one, man. How it's got the grip on it. It makes it easier to hold. Another Matco ratchet I've had. Now I've had this since I started. This is my 1/2-inch drive. This thing's 19 inches, and this is a locking flex head. Now this thing was actually the regular Matco ratchet, and it was converted to an 88 tooth. But again, just a straight up, you know, chrome handle. It works. Now I showed this in my tool cart video, my snap-on 1/2-inch drive, 8-inch long flex head ratchet. Now this right here will get into almost everywhere that you need a 1/2-inch. This guy here is a beast. All right, so we got this 12-inch long snap-on quarter drive ratchet. It's got a flex head on it. No locking or anything like that, but it's got the flex head quarter drive. And the last ratchet that I have in my straight up, just easy to get to part of my tool cart is this 12-inch snap-on ratchet right here. I use this a lot for fuel filters and oil filter caps for diesels. So this is a snap-on. It's got this button on there that locks the socket. I don't like that. I'm not a fan of it. I mean, it's nice because it holds it on there, but it's a pain in the butt because it's the only ratchet I own that's like that. And it's not a ratchet, but it's on the top. My snap-on breaker bar. Now this thing is 38 inches long. Now this right here, this will break it loose. Just a breaker bar, but this thing right here will put the work in. All right, now let's get in here and show you all the little extra goodies that I have that I don't use a lot, but man, just having these things is awesome. So an old service writer, long time ago, bought me this ratchet. It's a Husky, right? So it's kind of big, kind of bulky, whatever, right? So I had this Subaru one time, and he bought this for me, and he gave it to me. He said, I saw this at probably Home Depot, and he said, man, I just thought about you. I bought this for you. Cool, I had it in my toolbox for a while. One day I had a Subaru, and I had bolts under the intake manifold that I had to get out, and I didn't want to take the intake manifold out, but I had to get bolts that were upside down. And I couldn't figure it out. I tried every configuration I had, and just the way that it was, I couldn't get to it. And so I found this thing in my cart, and I was like, huh, let me try this one out. So when you turn the handle, the drive turns. So you literally put it upside down like this, and you put a socket on there, and you can loosen it, and then turn it back the other way and tighten it. So one of those things, it's not a great tool. It's not a great quality tool. I mean, I don't know how great a quality is, but this thing right here, when you need this, you're gonna be happy that you had it. So I have this little guy here, and I don't know if I ever used it. This is I'm pretty sure it's a snap-on. Yeah, snap-on. It's a little 1/4-inch ratchet. It's got the fully rotational head on it. I mean, it's nice. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever used it. I might have used it once. But anyways, I have that. And then this right here is similar to my little Stubby 3/8, right? So now I have a Stubby 3/8 flex head. And this is a snap-on. And this right here, I'm sorry, this is not snap-on, this is Matco. Matco tools. All right. So this right here is just fantastic if you need that little flex. Awesome. Now this was my go-to. Before I had this long quarter drive ratchet, this was my longest quarter drive ratchet. It's got the comfort grip on there. It's snap-on, right? 80 tooth. I love this ratchet. I used this actually for a long time until I bought this sucker right here. And now I don't use this that often, but every once in a while I have to break that guy out. And then I have this one here. Now this is actually longer than my normal quarter drive, but it's a little too long for everyday use. So I like this one when I need to get in there because the handle on this is smaller than this one. So this actually can fit in between an oil pan or whatever. but this actually has really good access. I like this ratchet. I actually use this a lot. This is the 88 tooth Matco. Here is just a backup. This was originally, these were my 2 quarter drives that I used all the time, and they're both Matco 88 tooth. I use these all the time. The feel of this is like a teardrop. It's kind of good, but it's real thin, and so I don't really get a good feel when I'm using it. It's just too small and too weird because it's too flat, versus this where it's round and you have a little more to hold on to. But anyways, I have this as a backup because this is a ratchet I use all the time, and I can't take a chance on my other one being down and not having a backup. So there's my 2 Matcos. I used to use these all the time. And I have a couple things left. So here is a little weird little bit socket, a little bit ratchet. And this is kind of cool because you could turn this if you need to. It's flat, so it can get into just about everywhere. I don't even know what brand this is. I've used this very rarely, but when I use this and when I need it, it comes in handy. And then my last few that I have, so these 2 came in a set, and they are Mac Tools. So this is a fixed bit driver, and this is a flex head, a locking flex head bit driver. So these are actually pretty cool because the bits stay in. Mac Tools, they have a nice handle on them. I actually use these quite a bit. All right, let's see, what else do I have here? I thought I had something else. Yeah, I have a couple more things here. Okay, so I got these guys here. So these are those little handheld, right? It's a quarter drive, quarter drive, 3/8 drive. So these are completely floating like a planet, right? It just floats around, and you can get into all kinds of angles, and it's a finger ratchet. So these are actually kind of cool when you need to get in somewhere. These work really well. Now this is the last thing that I have that I want to talk about today, and this is by Easy Red. So I don't even, it's a ratchet I guess, so I'm going to include it. But anyways, it's by Easy Red. On one end it is a bit driver that has a back to it, so the bit goes in solid, and it's a locking flex head, okay, and it's a direction changer. So you can get this, you can't get this stuck. Well, you can, but it's harder because you have a lever to flip. And the other end is a quarter drive, locking flex head. Now this is what I use when I have to do fan clutches on a 2.7 Sprinter. I can put a bit in there, and this is long enough where I can get that fan clutch bolt to break loose, and I can put this on there and just push a screwdriver down and hold it and just turn it and ratchet it until the Allen comes all the way out, and I can reach down there and get it out with a magnet. So this is my last one here. Let me know if you have any questions about any ratchets that I have. I have too many ratchets to give you part numbers for, but I'd be happy to get those part numbers for you if you're curious about anything that I have. I recommend all the tools that I have here. I don't think I have any that I would say not to get. So I hope you enjoyed my ratchet collection. Thanks for checking out Nuts and Bolts with Tone. Check me out on Instagram at Nuts and Bolts with Tone. Daily Life as a Mechanic. And hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit me a comment if you like my ratchets, if you want a part number, if you hate my ratchets, whatever. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Thanks for checking me out. See you next time.